Hi, everyone. Well, we have quite a group on Zoom today. All right. Love it. Okay, let me just grab something. I have it. Where did it go? All right. Well, welcome. You have entered into Yoga Foundations. And today, by request of Karen Ann, yoga teacher, which actually is a really great request, we are going to be discussing or moving through how to bind, right? That reminds me, we need straps. And if you are at home and you don't have a strap, of course, I think all my students at home are teachers, but if not, you can always use a towel, someone's really long sock. Hello, welcome. Sweetie, how are you? All righty, and we're going to get started. Alrighty, take a moment, yogis. Find yourself seated comfortably. Welcome, welcome. My name is Bri Morena de Santos. You're gonna have a really fun class today, I hope. Take a moment and just let yourself connect to the earth. Let go of whatever came before this moment. Audra, you're on camera. And just feel your entire body get heavy. Surrender to gravity here. Start to notice the breath. Just notice your breath. Just feel it moving through your body. Allow every inhalation to become more noticeable as your heart rises, your belly gets full. Every exhale, you feel yourself get a little bit more grounded and settled. This is my favorite part of beginning class, is just feeling yourself. If you feel a little awkward, if you feel like, I don't know if I'm relaxing, that's okay. It comes. And I would love to invite you to bring your hands together, heart center. We're going to interlace the fingers, taking our first bind. If you like, you can keep your pointer fingers lifted, kind of like a Charlie's Angel. And most importantly, feel the palms compressing together. Feel those fingers interlaced. And in yoga, we love to set an intention, a sankalpa. This is just so you can invite this space to become sacred for you. This can be a gentle dedication or even just gratitude for your body, for your health, for your mind, for its health. And let's seal in those wonderful intentions with a deep inhalation. Open the mouth and let it go. Bringing all the fingers back together, spread the fingers, and we're going to open up the palms like you're creating a little cave. And just imagine prana, life force energy in this space. We're going to slowly let those blooms happen for a nice little lotus. And we're going to lift that lotus, taking our energy, filling our prana, and separating, creating this beautiful bubble bee around our bodies. nice and beyond us. We're gonna flip the palms up, 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 inhale. And we're gonna draw the hands back to heart center. We're gonna repeat this a few rounds. These are called mudras. These are yoga for the hands. We're gonna create that little bubble, imagining you're taking a little prana sphere, life force energy, opening up for the lotus flower, rising to our highest vibration, exhale, releasing, creating a beautiful pranic bubble around. Yes. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart space. Little mouse, last one, little bubble, feel it, lotus, rise to your highest vibration. Don't you love that? Exhale. Yes. On this last one, inhale, and we're gonna fold it forward. Go ahead and relax the neck, release the head. Feel a gentle stretch of the body. This is Bella Bean. If she comes by and she's just, not making you feel comfortable, you can just kind of shoo her away. One more round of breath here. That's right. You're gonna slowly rise. Take your time. And we're going to draw the bottoms of the feet together. We're gonna bring our hands to our feet, creating another bind, right? And we're just going to draw our shoulders into our bodies, sort of bring them behind us, and then draw the shoulders together like you're closing a really good book that you just completed. Go ahead and tuck your chin, round your spine. And this is where a strap can come in as well. If this is not feeling really good for you, you can always just grab the strap and then wrap your hands around the strap, yes? And if it feels okay, you can start to tuck your chin, continue to round, bringing your toes toward your nose, even if it's just in your mind. And binding is any action where one part of the body holds on to another part, or when two body parts are intertwined. So we are always binding in yoga, right? It kind of gets us deeper into our pose. It helps us check in with where our alignment is, because if we are having a tough time binding, maybe we need to make an adjustment somewhere in the body, or maybe we need to invite in some props, like our strap here. We're gonna slowly rise. We're gonna walk our hands behind us like we are sunbathing. A little too hot for that though, right? Start to lift your nose, lift your heart. Feel that little curve in your lumbar spine. Yeah, go ahead and tuck your chin into chest, press the earth away from you. You're gonna feel an even deeper stretch. We're opening up the shoulders here. We're gonna be opening up our shoulders today, releasing any tension through the front and back parts of our bodies so that we can take binds where we can find them in this gentle hatha practice today. We're gonna slowly bring our knees together, and then we're gonna wrap our hands either around or under. Yes, you guessed it, another bind. Just showing you that you do this all of the time. We'll get into the more pronounced variations that show up in a yoga class, of course. And then we're gonna slowly come onto all four, tabletop posture. We're gonna bring our hands just under our shoulders. We're gonna take some nice cat-cows, but before we do, tuck your toes into the earth. We're gonna press the mat away from us, shifting our hips toward our heels. We're just gonna get a little gentle flexion in those toes. For some of us, our toes are very flexible. For others, just a little's enough, yeah? It doesn't matter, your body has no idea what it's supposed to be. Don't look around, because then you're telling your body what you think it's supposed to be. And then slowly bring it back to tabletop, flatten your feet. Ooh, sorry. Flirt. And then we're gonna take some cat-cow. So take a deep inhale, yogis. As you exhale, tuck your chin, round your spine. I like to come up on my fingertips, just getting even deeper into the spinal flexion, but totally optional here. You can drop your palms of your hands Let your belly get nice and heavy, nose to the sky. Think of a happy cow smelling roses. No, I'm not calling you names. And then find your breath. Go ahead and flex from cat to cow. Sometimes you're a fraidy cat. Sometimes you're a happy cow. We've all been there. We're going to notice our breath here, right? We're going to start to invite in more intentional breath work. So we're going to take deep inhales. Deep exhales. Whenever you're afraid you have your chin up into chest, you're going to feel that curve in your spine. You want to really round that spine. You want to really let that belly hang, right? As much as your body can handle here. You were round, releasing any tension, getting the fluids moving through the body. And then we're going to bring it back to a neutralized tabletop. We're going to walk those hands out in front of us like a stretchy kitty cat. You're going to let your head hang in between your shoulders. Bye, Cindy, we love you. Maybe shaking your head a little bit, breathing tension out. Really stretching those fingers towards the top of your mat. Really sticking your tail out behind you. Little puppy pose action. Stretching kitty cat. Pick your animal. And we're just opening up that chest, opening up those shoulders. We're going to slowly bring it back center. We're going to come into a nice high fraidy cat from here. So feel your fingers really coming off of the earth. Maybe interlacing and flipping the palms down. You're a little higher up on your knees. You have a little pelvic tilt as your tailbone is lengthening and you're tilting and rounding up. And then we're going to slowly bring it back. All right, we're going to release our knees and we'll come back to this in just a moment. We're going to tuck our toes. We're going to hover our knees off of the mat. Going to activate solar plexus, activate your core. And then press all the way to your first downward facing dog, yogis. Take a moment here. You can have some nice, generous bends in those knees. Pedal it out. Shake your head from side to side. Denisha, your down dog is so good. Yeah. Look at you. This is her third class ever. Down dog's already looking good. We're going to slowly start to walk our toes to meet our hands. Bend the knees here, look down at your toes, lift them off of the mat and drop them one by one. We want to ground our energy like a root of a tree. Slowly start to rise. Your legs will lengthen. Your head is heavy. Your spine is rounded. Slowly get taller and taller and taller. Inhale the hands up. Hopefully online you can see Audra demoing for us today. Exhale, hands to your heart. Notice your glutes might be tight. Release them, start to hinge at the hips. Palms are together. We're going to take a nice little forward fold here, Uttanasana. Half lift, let yourself come to a neutralized spine. Bend the knees, yogis, reverse sweep high. We're going to interlace the hands at the top. Flipping the palms up, taking a bind, a little stretch through the heart space, taking a baby back bend, and then slowly swan dive. That's right. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to step into a plank. We're going to drop our knees immediately. Flatten the feet, bend the elbows, nose to the earth. Inhale into a little sill on a rock. Cobra. Tuck the toes back to down dog. And we're going to walk our feet to our hands. We're going to bend our knees here. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to grab onto the outer of your left leg, taking our first twisty bind, and left hand to the sky. That hand that's in the sky, you're going to slowly externally rotate through that shoulder and just drop that hand and place it on your tailbone. And the right hand is going to help you twist. The left hand's just applying a little bit of somatic connection back to your spine, right? So it's not the deepest twist, it's not the deepest bind. Exhale, back center. And then let's do a little half lift. So lengthen the legs, let the fingers graze to the knees, tabletop spine. Exhale, bend and fold. Left hand's gonna wrap around right side, right hand to the sky. Eye gazes can follow here. And then that external rotation in the shoulders, you're gonna bring that hand and rest at the top of your tailbone. And then that left hand's gonna help us get a little bit more deep into this pose. This is a bit of a balance challenge. Exhale, back center. And we're gonna step into a gentle plank. We're gonna drop our knees. We're gonna come back to tabletop yogis. Yeah. Alrighty, now we're gonna play around with a little bit of stretching through the shoulders and then a little bit of internal and external rotation. But first, we're gonna shift our weight into our left hand. Right hand's gonna go to the sky. Let your right hip follow the hand, like you're just painting a beautiful picture. Opening up your heart, don't overthink it. Exhale, bring that hand back to where you found it. Shift your weight into the right hand. Left hip and left hand just sways out to the side. And you're like a little bird, taking a little bird bath or something, right? And then exhale, we're gonna do it 2 more times each side. Inhale. Exhale. Ooh. Maybe you feel like an artist of some sort, like you're painting a picture or doing a dance. It should feel nice and graceful. If it feels clunky, try to get a little bit more connected with your breath and movement. Get them together, organized, yeah? I didn't do the math. I think we have one more side. I think this is our last one. This time we're gonna thread that arm right under. So we're gonna just draw that hand and it's gonna thread under. You're gonna drop that shoulder down to the earth. That right hand can stay where it's at, keeping your pressure off of that shoulder. If you feel up to it, you can draw that right hand towards the top of your mat. You're gonna feel gravity take forward. So your body's gonna come down onto that shoulder. Does that make sense? So you wanna relax your body. And then this hand can start to slide. Yeah, there we go. Unless you have any shoulder ailments or injuries, which only you know, don't take this pose as far as it can go. I'm a poet and I know it. I'm just kidding. That hand that's way overhead, you're gonna draw back towards your eye gazes. It should be in your sight. Press the mat away from you. No pressure on that shoulder. Left hand to the sky. Ooh, yes, enjoy that stretch and bring it back. Before we move to the other side, let's just wiggle, maybe move the body like water, make big circles, maybe stretchy kitty cat. Yogis, decisions. Find your breath. I don't know what you're looking for in there. There's no treat. Alrighty, yogi. So we're gonna bring those hands right under the shoulders. So make sure that placement's there, knees about hip distance apart, right? So you're not like somewhere else. And then we're gonna shift our weight into that left hand, right hand to the sky. Take your time, no rush. Look for an exhale, a nice gentle exhale, threading that arm under. You're gonna come down onto that shoulder little by little, and then that left hand will relax. Maybe it comes in front of you. We're not gonna take a bind here. We'll do that a little bit later. Just opening up that shoulder, feeling that side body twist if it showed up in your body today. Feeling a little expansion happening through the chest, through the back of the body. If you feel any tightness, this is a good place to take note of that. Maybe you know you have something happening in your shoulder or chest. And that will dictate your binding, right? And that's okay. It's not because you're not amazing. You're just like, oh, body's not wanting that today. We're gonna slowly bring that top hand down. It's gonna guide you, press the mat away. And then of course, move your body intuitively, let go of any tension that you just, oh, yes, thank you. Raise the wing and then bring it back. See, that's what happens when I don't practice the move. Go ahead and move the body around. We're gonna get through a little bit of a a gentle movement flow so that we can release any tension in the body. So we're gonna come back to tabletop, tuck the toes. We're gonna lift the knees and we're gonna walk into Uttanasana, forward fold. So we're gonna skip right through down dog. Bend the knees here. We're gonna slowly rise. Head comes up last. Inhale the hands to the sky. Exhale them by your side. Tuck your chin. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Stretch, happy Saturn, yay. Exhale, let it go. We're gonna do one more. This time, inhale up. Feel free to exhale into a baby heart opener, a little gentle back bend. Not your deepest one ever. Inhale, rise. And we're gonna sweep the hands forward. Yes. When we arrive, bend the knees and let the hands rise around you like the sun. We're gonna come into Utkatasana chair pose. Lovely. We're gonna sink into this a little deeper. We're gonna come into cactus arms, release any tension in our shoulders, right? We're gonna come into airplane. Draw the shoulder blades together and see if you can draw your hands behind you, right? Like you're kind of in an awkward downhill skiing motion. See if you can interlace your hands and just feel what that feels like and then release them. Sweep your hands overhead. Yes, sink a little lower, forward fold, half lift, bend the knees, reverse sweep and high. That's right. Hands to your heart space. We're gonna step out as wide as the mat here. Wonderful. Hands up. And we're gonna hinge at the hips here. So you're gonna feel some pressure in the back of the legs. Feel free to bend a knee or two if you need to. We're gonna come all the way down like a little arrow. Shift your weight towards your toes instead of towards your heels. It's a little subtle adjustment. Keep the palms together, interlace them, flip the palms towards your mat. Open up your chest, your back of your body, and your shoulder here. If not already, add a nice generous bend, kind of like Utkatasana, wide-legged chair pose. Stick your tail out behind you like a little duck. And then we're going to release the hands, inhale, sweep them up overhead, and we're gonna take a wide stance chair pose. It's gonna feel a little bit awkward, a little bit different. Cactus arms, heart center. Press the palms together and rise. Yeah, you can feel those muscles engage. Flip the palms to the sky as you interlace the fingers. Lift your heart, a little gentle heart opener. Go ahead and draw your hands by your side. We're gonna take a little side body stretch. Right hand down, left hand over, stick that left hip out. Eyes to the earth, shake your head from side to side. We're gonna play with a little external rotation here. So go ahead and draw that hand toward the mirrors, so toward the left. Notice what your shoulder feels like and see if you could just sort of draw that blade behind you and then bring that hand somewhere on your hip, somewhere on your tailbone, or just somewhere on your lower back body. If you feel like you've made a connection, go ahead and take your eye gazes up to the sky, just looking right over that left shoulder. Your right hand is just giving you some guidance here, kind of like your hands on a chair or in something giving you support. Eyes back to the earth. We're gonna bring that hand back towards the left or the side mirrors and then to the sky and then hand way over to the opposite side. Eye gazes follow and you're just gonna twist your body a bit here. Right hand is just on the leg, giving you some stability. That left hip is really protruding out and then slowly lift and rise. We're gonna take it on the other side. So first we're just gonna slide that left hand down, stretch the body, right? Find your breath. Eye gazes to the earth, release that neck. Yes. Right hand that's gonna float toward the sky and then toward the sidewall. Notice what that shoulder feels like. See if you can draw that blade. So you're just basically making a little rotation, like you're making a circle with your shoulder towards the back of your body. And then that hand maybe floats behind you, maybe rest either hip or tailbone, depending on your rotation here. And then slowly take your eyes to the earth, feeling that twist as your heart lifts up and your eye gazes look just right over that right shoulder. That left hand is giving you support and guidance. We're really getting into the sciatica here. So if you have any issues or tension there and this gets a little bit too intense, please honor your body. Eye gazes to the earth if not already. Hand gonna float back toward the side, toward the sky, overhead, opposite side, and eyes stay grounded as we twist our heart toward the earth. That's right. Pressing through the bottoms of the feet, rise. You probably felt that. That was an intense stretch, right? We're gonna bring our hands to our hips. Let's heel toe all the way in, giving us some stability. And then we're going to hinge at those hips. Keep your hands where they're at, just so you can feel that hinging, right? We're gonna fold forward, bend a knee or two whenever you need to. Let the hands slide down the front of your legs until they meet the earth or a block. Grab opposite elbow, shift your weight toward your toes. We're really drawing gravity down into those shoulders. That's right. And then we're gonna bring our hands to the mat. We're gonna bend those knees. We're gonna come into a little yogi ball. We're gonna take a little balance bind here. So maybe if you feel comfortable, right, totally optional, you can wrap one arm, maybe keeping one down, and just feeling the bind on one side. Maybe you feel good enough to wrap both arms today. Maybe you feel stable in your toes. Maybe the eye gazes get soft, the chin gets tucked. Wonderful. So we know that we can compress our body into itself, right? We're just sort of reminding ourselves that we have that capability. Wonderful. All right, yogis, we're gonna come back down onto all four. Let's take a moment. Let's wag our puppy tails, ear to shoulder each side, let go of any tension. Coming back to a nice stretchy kitty cat. And we're just gonna open up our hips here, releasing any tension that's happening elsewhere. Draw that right foot right in between the thumbs. So I'm gonna make a little micro adjustment here. And then slide that back foot down to a low lunge. This is a really great place for a block to be under that left hand. And then we're going to sort of draw that right hand to the sky, twisting toward that thigh. Notice what that shoulder is doing, right? We're bringing a lot of awareness to that shoulder. We're just feeling it in our body. We're not ignoring it today. The hips are going to want us to ignore the shoulders. We're going to battle it out here in the mind. Find your breath, connect it to both spaces that need it. And then that shoulder, we're going to do a nice external rotation. So it's going to go towards the front door, towards the back of our mat. Eye gazes can follow. If this is too much, then you can bend that elbow, right? Just make that connection here. Feel the body rotating back. We're going to take it forward all the way through the sky like a shooting star, and we're going to reach forward, yogis. So we're opening up the hips, but we're also getting some flexion in that shoulder. So now keep your hips where they're at. This is why if you want to block, it feels really good. Otherwise, if you want to get into the hip a little bit more. Sometimes a block takes us a little out of the hip, yeah? So you're going to reach forward like you're reaching for cookies. My favorite. And then we're going to flip the palm up, right? So you're returning to the right. And then we're going to flip the palm down. So we're opening up the hips. So we're teaching the body that it's having a lot going on the bottom part, but we're still rotating because that's what yoga is, right? It's probably twisting, binding, opening, but we're also asking it to do other things. And if we get too caught up with one thing's happening, we sometimes can't do the other. I know, you can feel that hip opener, huh? It's weird how when you're just doing this one little thing, feel those hips. One more round. Woo! Okay, yogis, we did it. Bring that hand back. And now you're gonna do your other favorite pose, said no one ever. And you're gonna go into a little stretchy runny pose here. Half monkey, half split. Toes to your nose here. Let's invite that stretch through the back of the body. Also a good blanket under the knees if you need to. I'm happy to help you there. One more round of breath, yogis. Notice the tension that could be happening in the jaw, the shoulders. All these body parts are competing for your energy, for your prana. And for my teachers in the room, that's what we'll be talking about with the bandhas today. That's why we invite those in. Stop the competition. We're gonna come forward, tuck the back toe, lift that back knee, full low lunge, step that back foot to reach the front, slowly rise. Take your time. Gonna pass through Tadasana. Inhale up. Exhale, a nice, beautiful swan dive. Find your breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, reverse sweep it high. Exhale, heart opener, baby back bend. Oh, inhale up. Last swan dive, take it down. Ooh. Half lift. Bend the knees. Step into a gentle plank, but come into tabletop immediately. Flatten your feet. Feel your hands right under your shoulders. We're gonna bring that left foot in between the thumbs. You're gonna slide that right foot behind you, getting a little deeper into your pelvis here. All right, when you find that connection, if you wanna bring a block under that right hand, or just drop your hand to the mat, we're gonna slowly sweep. We're gonna take our time, we're not in a hurry. We want the shoulder to be invited to the dance. We're gonna take a moment here. Eye gazes go wherever the neck wants, right? So sometimes it's easier to take everything up so that everything is invited, but sometimes it doesn't feel good either. So we just drop our head. That top shoulder is reaching for the sky, but now we're gonna bring it back into the body if not already. Just noticing that subtle change. And then maybe a little external rotation. Eye gazes can follow if it's in your practice. Remember, if this is too much, just bend that elbow. The little cactus arm. One more round. Yes. Take it back to the sky like a shooting star, facing forward. Palm down. Take a moment here. You're just reaching for cookies, right? And then flip the palm up. Notice that rotation. Flip it down. Find your breath. Keep flipping. Inhale, palm up. Exhale, down. Find your breath. Notice that your body's trying to talk to you everywhere. Get inside the mind, calm it down. Your breath will teach your nervous system that all is well. Simple, not easy, right? One more round of breath if we have it. Ooh, and bring it down, yogis. We're gonna go into that runner's variation, shifting our weight back, toes pointing toward the nose, inviting that stretch through the back of the leg. You can have blocks under your hands. Notice what the shoulders are doing. They're probably hiked up into your ears. Relax. Part of a really useful yoga practice is every muscle at some point in the practice, even if it's just a very small amount of time in comparison to your entire 60 minutes on the mat, is simultaneously relaxed, right? We get embodied, even if it's just for a moment. Our bodies don't really require a whole lot to heal, to replenish. We just have to give them a little bit of opportunity. One more round of breath. Molly wants cookies online. Molly, you're at home, I think, so we're the jealous ones. Slowly shift your weight forward. Tuck your toe, lift your knee, low lunge. Take a moment. Notice how you have this core engagement powering through this low lunge. Step that back foot forward and slowly rise. Take your time, no rush. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive. We're gonna take another one. You have an option to do a heart opener, baby back bend. Inhale, lift halfway, neutralize. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold, bend the knees, reverse sweep it high. Back bend or heart opener. Yes. Inhale as you come up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Let's take a moment in Tadasana, mountain pose, traditional or otherwise. Hands can be by your side, heart center. Lots of variations here. Take a moment. We're gonna do one more shoulder opener, and then we're gonna invite our straps. We're gonna spend some time. Take a moment, feel the earth beneath you, relax your glutes, your jaw, your shoulders, eyebrows, usually all those little pressure points. Oh, my goodness, yes. All right, yogis, here we go. We're going to bring our hands out into airplane palms down. I want you to make that gentle shift where you feel your shoulder blades coming together. Take them apart and together and apart. Okay, we're all on the same page. Bring them back. Cactus arms, out. Cactus arms, yeah? Okay, so you have your wings. Now see if you can draw your hands behind you and interlace. If not, grab your shirt, fingers, elbows, knuckles. We'll invite a strap in a second. Just take a moment, just make that cognitive connection. Find your breath. Go ahead and release. Bring your hands to your shoulders. Give ourselves a little neck massage. This isn't hard, but because we're taking our thought process to it, we invite more tension that's needed. So let's grab our strap. We're gonna either double it over if you like, or you can just have it nice and loosey-goosey, yogi's choice. Take it overhead. First, we're gonna stretch it in opposite directions. You're gonna engage those muscles. Just feel them. For some of us, we don't do this all the time, right? All right, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a challenge. If at all this feels weird, abort mission immediately. So bend the elbows, draw it behind you, and then stretch it apart. Yeah, and just maybe soften the gazes, feel what that feels like. And then take it back overhead. We're just gonna get a little stretch. We're just becoming friends with the strap, right? We're gonna ask it to help us a lot here, but we should buy it a drink. And then slowly lift it up and take it to the other side. This is the thing about yoga. You want to know your mat. You want to understand your blocks. You want to be friends with your props, right? You want to know where the wall's at. You want to know how the floor feels under your feet. That's going to help your practice. Fold forward. Keep pulling the strap in opposite directions all the way to the earth. And then release and loosen your muscles. Go ahead and slowly rise. Bend the knees first and slowly rise. All right, yogis, here we go. So from here, we're going to bring the strap behind us. So just like we were interlacing the hands, even if you have that in your practice, let's use the strap, okay? So if it's in your practice to interlace, you can interlace with the strap just so you can have it. Otherwise, your strap can be as far as you need for your shoulders, yeah? Bend the knees here, and we're going to slowly hinge. We're going to really open up through the chest. You're going to feel some gentle external rotation happening through the elbows, all the way from the ball and joint socket of the shoulders. So we have ball and joint sockets in the shoulders and the hips, and men tend to lead with their shoulders, women tend to lead with their hips. So if you have antennas, that's how it would show up. So sometimes we need to recalibrate and connect those two together. Okay, we're going to slowly rise. We're going to take this into a gentle heart opener, baby back bend. For some of you, if you're in the mood, you can take this into a deeper expression. And we're going to inhale, engage the core, rise. Tuck your chin into chest. All right, so go ahead and let's bring the strap into one hand and let's just wiggle it out. Shake the bones. Yeah. All right, yogis. So from here, we're going to bring our hands to our hips, keep your strap, step your right foot forward, step your left foot back a little bit more, and then draw that left foot 90 degrees. Go ahead and heel toe it out so we can get into a warrior variation. So bend that front knee. We're going to keep our hands on our hips here. Go ahead and sink a little bit low as you can go, and then bring it back. We're going to do that one more time. We're just juicing up the joints. And then we're going to lengthen. All right, so we're gonna play with our first little bind here. We're gonna take an advanced pose to do it, right? So you might as well go hard. Bend the knee anytime you need to. So from here, keep your strap handy. We're gonna bring our hands out into airplane arms. We're gonna take Trikonasana for those of you online who can't see very well. And we're going to take our eye gazes forward, just off the tip of our nose, all the way through our arm, off that middle finger. Right? You're not staring at yourself in the mirror. You're like in a zone. You're going to shift your weight forward. You're going to feel that left hip going back. Remember we did this when we were threading the needle vibes? And then we're going to slowly let that hand go down to the mat. like perfect geometry. Eye gazes can stay grounded, right? If the neck needs to, eye gazes stay down, eye gazes can go center, eye gazes can go up off the tip of your nose, whichever direction your neck wants. All right, we're gonna play with our first bind here, okay? So I'm gonna have us bend that front knee so we can get into it nice and gently. So just bend that front knee a little bit. We're gonna draw that right hand down and we're gonna feel our knee press against the tricep. So first make that connection. Right hand in the, or left hand in the sky. We're gonna slowly take it toward the back of the mat. We're gonna bring it to our tailbone, okay? Or hip, whichever one, right? So I'm gonna give you an option here. First, check in with your bind. See if your hand can wrap and catch a little bit of that right thigh. Maybe it's in the crease of your hips. Maybe it's just close to that right hip. Maybe it's close to that right thigh, okay? So just check in, right? You're gonna kind of see how much strap is in your practice today. Then you're gonna take your strap, if it's in your right hand, if it's in your left hand, either way, and you're gonna look for the strap for the other hand. So it's a little bit of a coordination that needs to take place here. And now you're in your first expressive bind. So we're in Warrior Two bind. We're gonna take this to the advanced Trikonasana triangle variation. We're gonna lengthen that leg, which means your strap should let you get into this pose, even if you normally can't bind into Trikonasana. So you're using your strap. If you wanna walk your hands closer and closer and closer and closer until fingers touch for traditional bind, honor that. But if at any time that leg needs to bend because of the bind, not because of your own anatomy, if you're trying to get into the bind by bending and stretching in weird ways, how do you feel it? Yeah, you got it. You're fine. You're good. So this is a bind. This is a bind that we're in, right? Find your breath. Okay. So now you're going to release out the bind, and then you're going to get back from a Warrior Two Trikonasana variation, and you're gonna rise. We're gonna bring our hands center, and we're just gonna move those feet, right? Go ahead and bend that front knee, find your Warrior Two. We got it. Notice your strap is probably in your right hand. If you can keep it there, you don't have to switch it, it's up to you. And then we're going to slowly lengthen that leg. We're gonna look right through our nose into that middle finger. Don't worry, you just did this on the other side, I promise. And you're gonna slowly reach forward, right? So you're reaching, you're gonna feel that right hip kind of reaching for the back of the mat as you reach for the front. And then like a perfect geometrical shape, you're gonna slowly come down, like a little spaceship. Eyes go wherever the neck wants. Now we're gonna bend that front knee. You're gonna take that top hand, you're gonna wrap it around your back, see if you can catch onto something. Right? What's there? Discovery, child. And then see if that left hand can come off of the earth and catch onto that strap. Once you feel like you're holding that strap, maybe walk your hands as close as you feel comfortable with them going, and then lengthen that front leg. We're doing some variations here, right? So that we can have our mind focus and not be in a balance challenge. A little Warrior Two Trikonasana hybrid here. One more round of breath. And whenever we come out of the pose, we release the bind first, right? And we always try to get out of the pose the way we got into it. So it's the opposite of falling out of the pose. And now we're gonna come into both feet being diagonal. Yeah, and we're going to do a cow face variation with bent knees for goddess. Okay, all right. So from here, we're gonna take that left hand down, that right hand's gonna go diagonal. So just kind of check in with that, like, woo, right? Like I'm here. All right. And then we're going to draw that right arm right by the ear, left arm down by our side, kind of just behind us. You can rest it on the back of your thigh. Go ahead and bend that arm. Strap should be in your right hand, might make it easier. And then draw that elbow. So feel your bicep or tricep or smell your armpit, however you want to get there. Okay, it's up to you. And then you're gonna slowly sweep as you bend that left elbow and you're gonna look for the strap. Find your strap. There she is. There he is. There it is. And maybe walk those fingers together as close as you feel comfortable going. For some of you, if you have this in your practice, to interlace and find a mudra, right? Just yoga of the hands, honor that. For others, you can get there over time. We're gonna bend the knees and we're just gonna sink to the earth. And now you're gonna notice that the hips take dominance over your shoulders, which means you want to find a comfortable place for your bind so that you can focus on the larger muscles that need more attention, that need more prominence. So if we're focusing on the hands right now, we're gonna become really unstable in our trunk of our tree. And so we wanna be mindful. And that's where the strap is really useful here. So we're not fighting and battling, stretching and reaching. No go-go gadget arms. And then slowly bring it up, slowly release, find your little diagonal and let it go. Ooh, that was a lot. Let's bring our hands to our hips. Let's heel toe in. Let's release some tension here and let's just pedal it out. Yeah. Again, normally it doesn't feel this intense when we're practicing yoga. We're not putting all this thought process into it. Step it out. And then go ahead and find a nice diagonal. Strap in the opposite hand if you may. Find your little diagonal arms. Draw your left arm closest to your ear. Right arm's gonna slide behind you, maybe resting on the back of your leg. Find a little hamstring. Bend that elbow. And then just kind of rest it out. And then maybe bend the opposite elbow. Look for that strap. Find your strap. When you're using a strap, I used a strap in my Ashtanga practice for like 2 years straight. I loved it. Because then I would just find the strap, and then I would walk my hands to meet each other, and I would stop when I was in the mood to not go further. It's no big deal, right? Actually made me more flexible over time. So you walk it as high as you feel like you want to go. Maybe your shoulder feels a little different today. And when you're ready, we're gonna bend those knees and sink those hips. And then you're gonna notice that all your attention goes back to the hips. And that is rightfully so. Breathe some prana, feel the earth beneath you. Connect with the bind. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. One more round of breath. And then slowly rise and release. Ooh. Hands to your hips, heel toe all the way in. Shouldn't let the zoomers only see the backs of us, right? And then pedal it out. All right, so go ahead and drop your strap at the top of your mat. We're gonna use it in our seated twist, but that's a kind of a powerful variation of how to use, right? Arms, under leg, and then we'll twist our body at the end. All righty, yogis. So inhale, rise. Slowest swan dive. Yes, yes, yes. Half lift and neutralize your spine. Bend your knees. We're gonna come into a little yogi bow. And we're gonna swivel to the top of the mat. Go ahead and drop your knees. Shift your weight around. Yeah. All righty. So, some other popular yoga poses that we bind in. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drop that left knee. And this is where that internal, external rotation matters, right? So you see binds, you see them in Malasana too, right? You see those binds, right? These are where they're coming from in these seated postures. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bind in a nice internal way, right? Because our shoulders wanna do this, not that, right? So we're gonna do what the shoulders want first. So we're gonna hook that left arm in and catch a knee. And then you're just gonna interlace your hands and voila, you're in a bind. Yeah? Okay. So now you're in your first bind, so you can feel what that feels like. We're gonna release that bind. You're gonna slowly draw that hand through the sky like a shooting star. You're gonna feel that external rotation in that shoulder. You're gonna kickstand that hand. But I want you to pay attention to this feeling here. Left toes are pointing, or right toes are pointing towards your nose. And you're in a nice bind where you're drawing that right shoulder or that left shoulder in, and you're opening through the other side of your body, right? All right. So now we're gonna take it on the opposite. So you're just gonna draw that opposite side. You're gonna hook opposite arm through the sky, and now you're twisting towards your thigh, right? So you're seeing how twists are really instrumental when we add in a bind. Without the twist, then it's just arms trying to connect, and may the longest arms win, right? And yoga is not just for extra long limbs, it's for everybody. And then we're gonna bring it back center. And now we're gonna take this pose in a more challenging way. So have your strap ready. Alrighty, this is where we start to see those big binds. So you're gonna bring the arm, I'm not gonna mirror you anymore. So go ahead and bring, let me go all on. You're on your left side? Okay, I'll do my left then so I can use the right language. So you're gonna bring that arm to the sky, same side of the bent knee. You're gonna draw it on the inside, and I want you to just feel your knee pressing against your arm, which is like a crow pose, right? So now we can make that somatic connection. Go ahead and lengthen that arm. And now here's where it gets challenging. Look at the palm of your hand. So if you can just move your hand and nothing moves from the elbow up, then we're not using our shoulders, right? Does that make sense? But if you can make that internal and external rotation, and I didn't have us do it in all four today, but if we make that internal and external rotation, then you can see how everything should follow from shoulder, ball and joint, all the way down to palm of hand. That's what we're looking for. So we're looking for that rotation, almost like the armpit is opening and lifting. That's how we get into a bind that we're going into. Grab your strap and stick it in that extra hand. And this is where it gets hard, and this isn't for everyone, right? So this is where we go and we open up. And then as you open, so you're gonna open and apply pressure, you're going to internally rotate, you're gonna bend and hook. Does that make sense? That's the challenge here. So a lot of mechanics is happening. We press and apply pressure to open. We close our palm, means our armpit is closing back. We bend that elbow and we hook. This arm is looking to catch something. Maybe it catches the back of the shirt. Maybe it connects to the crease of the hip. Maybe you toss it a little bit of a strap. It's usually easier to have the strap in the hand that needs to make the adjustment, because then you're not forcing anything, you're not reaching for a strap. Once you make that connection, you're in a traditional bind, right? Which it requires internal, external rotation connection. You can keep walking your hands until you can find that bind. So what are we noticing here? We have to have some open hips. We have to be able to twist. We have to have an open chest and back, and we have to be able to have that flexion. But that can take years to really enjoy. So you can just enjoy those closed binds. All right, let's take it on the other side. All right, opposite side, yogis. So let's take a moment, let's just squeeze it in. Toes to the nose, releasing any tension in the back of that knee. And then let's just give ourselves a hug, right? So we can just feel that compression. Keep that hug, but opposite hand's gonna shooting star, and you're gonna open up your heart. You're gonna turn away from the knee. Anytime you're in class and your teacher's advising to take a seated bind, remember, you can take an open expression. Maybe you're expecting a child, maybe you had a big bean burrito. You don't wanna compress your belly against your thigh. Been there. Maybe you wanna compress your belly against your thigh. It feels so comforting. Opposite hand shoots to the sky. And now you're just giving yourself a hug. This is also aiding in digestion, right? Your belly is against your leg here. So there's a lot of reasons why we would want to do this and reasons why we wouldn't. And then exhale, bring it center. All right, yogis, here we go. Bring your hand into your strap into the hand that's going to be doing all the binding. Opposite, our hand in the sky. Draw it down. Take a moment. See if you can make that connection, right? So our arm and our leg isn't like disconnected. They don't know what each other wants. They're together. So take a moment, flip your palm up. Notice that rotation. Notice where you're rotating from. Is it just the wrist? Invite the whole arm from shoulder down. Which is why I like to do it before the bind, right? Instead of just in tabletop and then we try to figure it out later. Alrighty, so open up that armpit. You're like, ooh, okay. And then close it down, bend that elbow like crow pose, and then you need to make that adjustment. When we make that adjustment, notice how you have to open out and away. You're taking a twist. So you're not turned in, that'll never work. Open and twist and catch. Maybe my catch is really like out here though, and that's okay, right? This is a perfect bind, everyone. We do this all the time in Malasana. It's perfect. Maybe we can make the fuller connection. The more you can connect, the more you're twisting, the more your shoulders and chest and back have to be open. That's not every day, that's not every practice. One more round of breath. Yes, exhale, let it go. Ooh, let's go ahead and bring both knees into our body. All right. Go ahead and give yourself a hug. Cookies for everyone. What was that thing that you said, fresh cookies? Okay, yogis, we're gonna slowly come down onto our forearms, nice and gentle. Stretch your hands way overhead. Give yourself a Saturday stretch. Remember, this class is Foundations of Yoga. You're gonna learn something new, hopefully something you can take into your flows, into your other classes. This is a workshop style class. Hopefully it makes your practice more enjoyable. Draw your knees into your body, give yourself a hug. Interlace your fingers and make a bind, if you like. You want to make a happy baby bind? Bring your hands to your feet. Yes. Ooh, you could draw the bottoms of your feet together. You could take happy baby. You could just keep your knees into your body. You can rock from side to side or make big circles in the sky. Whatever feels good here, give your spine a little massage. Yes. Let's go ahead and draw both knees into the body. Let's keep that right knee in and lengthen that left leg all the way to the mat. Let's wiggle those right toes and make little circles or little flutters. Maybe just separating the toes and bringing them back, whatever feels good for the ankle or toes here. And then we're going to draw that knee over the body, taking a supine twist. Now, if you hadn't noticed, when you do a lot of binds and a lot of twists, you are engaging, releasing tension in the body. So you're inviting tension and then you're releasing tension. And when you do that in yoga, it's not only energetically detoxifying, right? But it is inviting strength and flexibility into your practice. Yoga is a practice where you do one thing and it shows up somewhere else. And so it's very functional in that way. Find your breath. On your next exhale, unravel, untwist, draw yourself back center, both knees into the body. Keep the opposite knee in, lengthen the opposite leg all the way to the earth. Squeeze that knee in and wiggle those toes or move that ankle around. Make little circles or little flutters. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. One more cool thing to consider is you can look for the bind. Most poses, you can invite a bind into your body. On the next exhale, draw your knee over chest. And give yourself a little twist. Notice your breath. That's another thing when you're twisting and binding, you cannot be holding your breath. So it's a really fun way for you to advance your breath work, your mindfulness, making sure you're not superficially breathing. Nice deep belly breaths, engaging your diaphragm. Your 90-year-old self will be so proud of you one day. Yes. Love your Take a few more deep inhales and exhales. Don't be passively breathing in this twist. And when you're ready, you can exhale, let it go, release back center. Let's take some gentle windshield wipers. And we'll take a couple of moments to dial down into final resting, Shavasana. Let your knees fall from side to side. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, them down. Wonderful. Binding is an advanced practice. It could take the most simplistic pose and turn it into something else. But it's also an adaptive practice. It can take the most advanced pose and adapt it for your body. It is for everybody. Yes, yogis. Check in with your body before finding your final pose. See if you need any final twists or turns, movements, stretches, massages. Ah. Take a moment, feel the earth beneath your body, yogis. Let your spine be compressed. When we do a lot of twists and turns, we also stir up a lot of energy. It's like taking shots of espresso. Remembering that yoga is like a deep tissue massage. Drink as much water as humanly possible for the rest of your day, especially after a practice like today's. With every exhale, you let your body relax. Relax through your eyebrows, your jaw, letting your right shoulder relax, left shoulder relax, relaxing your left hip, your right hip, relaxing each and every finger, the palms of the hand, each of the relax. We're going to slowly begin to bring life back into our bodies, wiggling our toes, our fingers, our nose, perhaps rolling over onto one side of the body, drawing the knees together. With your eyes soft, begin to float to a seated posture. Take your time. And I would love to invite you to bring one hand over your heart, the other atop of that hand. Feel your heart space pressing into your palms. Let's take a moment and offer ourselves love and gratitude. Being thankful for our health, our motivation. And may we share that love and gratitude to each and everyone in this room and in the ether. And may we send all of that love and gratitude and especially peace out into our community. And let's seal it in with a deep inhalation. Practice non-attachment and let it go. Yes. Thank you all for being here. I enjoyed practicing with you today. Go in peace. Namaste. Yay! Yay! Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everyone online. We have a Zoom for advanced class today at 1:30. Try not to eat anything an hour before. We will be practicing our bandhas. Love you all. See you soon. Bye. Yeah.